What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh 1.
and we're back.
I burped a little, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. We all do that. Just some people more than others. But anyway, we're back at it answering your questions in another episode of For the Greater. Gersh, tell them what it is.
This is a series where we answer the questions left by our viewers. If you have Warhammer 40K lore questions or questions about pretty much anything. Do you need help with your love life? Do you need help with getting girls? Because Warhammer 40K players are excellent at that. Mm-hmm. We excel in the field of pleasure. So this question. So if you have any questions, comment down below. Put question in front of your questions, so we can get to those quicker. But basically, this question comes from Cause King 555. He asks, name a race from fiction that you would like to see in the Warhammer 40K universe, like the Xenomorphs. The Xenomorphs are the alien Xenomorphs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to see the alien Xenomorphs in 40K though.
They're basically Tyranids.
Yeah. But
so, yeah, what I would want to see in 40K would be the awesomeness that is the Avengers. Even though it's not a race or whatever, I feel like having a superhuman team would be pretty cool, because it's grimdark. You've already got Space Marines. It's like, what are they even doing there? Like, would they try to bring the world back to law and freedom and all that, or would they just get completely wrecked?
Yeah.
It'd be cool. Yeah, I could see like awesome fights, like orcs versus the Hulk, or Thor going up against like a I don't know, maybe Apodon. Yeah,
that would be cool. Iron Man would be pointless again though.
Yeah.
Iron Man versus a Space Marine is kind of like, well, Space Marine wins. So I would actually want the I think they're called Krogan from the Mass Effect.
Ah, yes.
Because they're like giant, like walking like that versus an orc. That would be really cool, because I feel like the Krogan, they're still tactical, so they'll be a really cool to include in Warhammer 40K. Good question.
That's right. Let's see. This one is by Tipsy Pigeon. Since Dreadnoughts are ancient members of an Astartes chapter whose experience are highly valued by their peers, both in and out of battle, is it possible for a Dreadnought to serve as the leader of a chapter?
Yes.
That's right. Basically, there are some chapter masters who do become interred in Dreadnoughts. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, there's one in particular that I did a story on. I can't remember now.
Wasn't it for the Lamenters? Or
no, it wasn't the Lamenters.
The Soul Drinkers.
Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, there is.
Yeah, I mean, Bjorn the Fell-Handed, he could. I mean, he's been known to lead Space Wolves into battle since he was literally part of Russ's retinue back in the day. So, yeah.
Chief Tucker, how are Dark Eldar children raised? Are there Dark Eldar children? Do they have a school? Do they have a path system similar to the Eldar? So it's really hard for any Eldar to reproduce, and when they do, it's very rare. I feel that if Eldar, even if a Dark Eldar woman who's going to have a child, it would be in her best interest to get away from the Dark Eldar, because if they live off pain, why wouldn't they want to keep inflicting pain to, like, an Eldar with a child?
Just the things you could think about doing is just like, oh man, I gotta get away from these Dark Eldar dudes. They're gonna flay him. They're gonna put combat drugs in him. It's not fun at all. Yeah. Fan 9775. Holy crap! Only 4 comments. I must be early. Also, if you incinerate an orc, will it not reproduce?
Yes, still reproduce. I think even the gun, the Necron, what is it called? That like gets rid of your atoms or whatever, that still releases spores. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Roger Rangel, what is the biggest weakness to the Tau army?
Their small size. Yeah, size matters, guys. The Tau are technologically advanced, but their biggest weakness is there's not enough of them to keep a sustained war going on.
Now, on the tabletop?
Tabletop, biggest weakness, obviously, close combat. Yeah, you get them in close combat, they're done.
Johnny S., do you guys play any Dawn of War series of games? If so, who is your favorite race in the Last Stand game mode?
We played way back in the day, so we didn't get up to the Last Stand.
Yeah.
But if it was, because I think it's what? Space Marines, Eldar, Orcs, Tyranids?
I don't know what the newest one is.
Yeah.
But back when we used to play like Dawn of War, Winter Assault, and Soulstorm and all that kind of stuff. What is Soulstorm? Well, anyways, my favorite was Imperial Guard.
I had a fun time playing with the Necrons, having Scarab Swarms. Yeah, that was always fun.
Really excited for Dawn of War 3.
Oh, yeah. This one's by Sreko Kuvalo. In theory, could Imperium spaceships land on planets and be used as mobile fortresses? Yes.
Question by Marty2129. Is it possible that one of the lost Primarchs could be female and all the pieces of information of their existence was wiped out? An alternative fact could be invented to that there couldn't be any female Astartes, like Orwell's system. And thus, the whole female genetic incompatibility could be, to a degree, a lie. Maybe there has been a different set of gene seed organs compatible with female anatomy and genetics, but the stock was lost or purposefully destroyed during the purge of the 2nd or 9th Legion? 11th Legion. P.S. Your video started my interest in 40K. Thanks.
That's awesome.
That's really good to hear. And it's a possibility, yeah. The thing about the Lost Legions is the GW, I don't think is going to do anything with them. They're going to hint, but never truly change it, because the point of those legions is what you're doing. Speculate.
Right.
Create your own lore around it. So if you want to make an all-female Space Marine Legion, do it. You have the avenue, like you just demonstrated, to make it believable.
And it's all thanks to the Edict of Obliteration. Because this removed basically anything and everything that was pertaining to these two legions. So thank you, GW, for this awesomeness. That is giving us creative ability to make new chapters.
There you go.
This one's by Dragon Punch 903. When are the battle reports coming? Hopefully soon. We may be getting a game in today, so.
Yep, but I want to do an epic,
a narrative. Also.
Yeah. Which we've been saying for a year and a half, but it'll
get there.
Work. Colin Turner Todd. With events leading up to the end of times, sort of, just about everyone is at some homogeneous risk of being annihilated, except the orcs. Why is that? I mean, they live to fight. That is literally their own purpose. So are the orcs just going to bash their way through all the sorry, I lost my place. So are all the orcs just going to bash their way through all the commotion happening in the galaxy and not even notice? Or are they just so stupid to care? So most intelligent races see this as yes, they are stupid and whatnot. But what you fail to realize is what's making them thrive is this stupidity, or this sense of not caring to ask the questions. There's an awesome quote in one of the Orc Codexes, I think it's in 4th edition or 3rd edition, where it was a commissar and he was explaining what orcs believe of the afterlife, and the purpose of their existence, and then he was saying that orcs don't even bother to, we see the orcs as savages. But by them not even bothering to ask these types of questions, they can proceed to take over the galaxy. They can colonize the world, and that's the reason why they're so successful, because their purpose is one-fold, and that's it. And that is to fight. And spores. Spores, reproducing through spores is really, really nice. Next question.
This one is by, oh no, I lost it. Oh, here it is. Walter Lopez. Could a Primarch join the Tau Empire? Which one would be most likely to do so? What would be the repercussions of such an action? Well, first of all, if this did happen, it would be deemed heresy, because Primarchs are only loyal to the Emperor or to Chaos, depending on traitor or not. If it was a chaotic Primarch, they'd probably just kill the Tau in honor of their god, most likely Khorne. But honestly, I don't see any Primarch joining the Tau Empire. No matter how much it makes sense to them, no matter how much it aligns with their views, they're loyal to the Imperium, they're loyal to humankind and the Emperor. So yeah, probably won't happen.
Yep. Anthony Wood, do Space Marines get a Primarch and the Eldar get a young god? Which army would you guys like to see get a powerful unit like these? And what do you think they will be? I like the idea of Gork and Mork infusing an orc to create a super war boss. But what do you guys think? Well, we already have a super war boss. It's Godskull Thraka. And I think if he got beefier, that would be awesome. Other than that, what other like cool, awesome, big units? It's a tough one.
Yeah, because I want the Tau to get obviously a super buff, but I don't see any way of going about that doesn't involve like technology.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're not like they don't have like Primarchs or anything like that. They're not worshiping any gods that can bestow power upon them. So the only way they would be able to get like a super awesome unit would be through a better battle suit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I like that. I like the fact that they can't the lore doesn't really fit like getting a super unit, because otherwise everybody's gonna end up playing Gilliman. Everybody's gonna end up playing what is it, the Incarn?
Yeah, the avatar of Ened.
Yeah. And if you look at it, they've always had them. They've always, like, I think Cain, the avatar of Cain is stronger than the Incarn. Mm-hmm. But next question comes from Enrique Rafael Puselli. If the belief of humans creates a god in the warp, wouldn't that mean that there are two emperors, the semi-dead one on the golden throne and the warp manifestation? Also, from what I read, this warp entities do everything to amass more belief. Wouldn't that mean warp emperor is preventing semi-dead emperor from healing to amass more power? Your videos are awesome. That's a really good mind-blowing idea.
I never even thought about that. So would that make the Warp Emperor an evil emperor since he's stopping the real emperor from healing?
Possibility, yeah.
Or maybe he's just good, but he needs to do this evil thing to make himself better than the Chaos God so we can combat him for the good of the Imperium.
Yeah, or at least compete, yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting theory.
And I think at the same time, yeah, gods do want more belief in them, but if you really look at it, there's always going to be war, not because Khorne is pushing war, but because that's the nature of things. There's always going to be death, not because Ened creates death, but because death happens. Mm-hmm. Sickness happens, lust happens, glory happens. So it's not so much that the emperor or the gods are creating these. Gods were created because of these emotions.
That's right.
So I don't think like what would the emperor be? What emotion would that be? Hope?
Hope, order. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
This next one's by Course the Mailer. Since an orc can survive decapitation so long as the doc's handy with staples, does this mean that the Big E could have saved the hands of fate, or the hands of Farum from death, if he had been nearby with some Primarch pattern gods?
An orc and a...
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, an orc and a Space Marine or Primarch are two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Unfortunately, he's dead is dead. Can be.
Dragon Vanguard. If a human was to sleep with a Slaneshi demonette, would the demonette become pregnant? If yes, would the hybrid demon-human be able to move between the warp and the material world freely?
Probably not. I don't think they get pregnant since they're just warp creatures. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard of any demons being pregnant.
Yeah, and if like it was a Slaneshi cultist who has a child, and that child is like a demon child, it would be a child possessed by a demon, not a demon child, I guess.
This one's by Bible Man. He's got 2 questions. So the first one is, do you think it's possible for traitor legions and Primarchs to redeem themselves because some of them were duped into signing up for chaos? Magnus. Yeah, I feel like no matter who you are, once you've been corrupted by chaos or once you've aligned yourself to chaos, there's no coming back. Because even the slightest threats of you, becoming chaotic again or spreading your chaos is enough for the Inquisition to come in there and blam.
Not to mention, how are you going to get rid of your mutations?
Yeah, that's true. Second question, what was the Emperor's biggest mistake?
Being born.
I'd say the coronation of Horus as War Master. I think if he would have put like Gilliman or somebody up there, it would have at least lessened the dire effects of the Horus heresy. Maybe.
I don't know what his biggest mistake is. I think his biggest mistake was just like the Space Marine project in general. Like, he already saw that with the what are they called? The Thunder Warriors. They were savage. Like, you had to kill them off. Why try it again when you're probably gonna end up having to get rid of the Space Marines at some point? So just instead of getting genetically modified superhumans, just try to beef up your humans as much as possible without going to the extent of making them not human. Wargaming says the Emperor was created by a bunch of psychers. The druids emerging, right? Mm-hmm. So, no. If so, why didn't the Emperor just repeat the process and create a second Emperor? I think that goes back to the thing that we talked about, I think, in the last video. We don't know the quality of psychers that were sacrificed in order to create this Emperor, so we don't know if it was like a unique thing that only happens once every millions and millions of years. Yeah. It probably is.
This one's by Talos Demon R. If Cain is so powerful, why didn't he just fight Slaanesh? He is the war god after all, and he could have prevented the Eldar from dying out. Basically, Slaanesh is the one who's been... Think about it this way. Slaanesh was created by all the excess of the Eldar, so in a way, it's like they didn't see it coming. So basically, it was a sneak attack by Slaanesh on the gods, and that kind of made it so that Cain couldn't, unleash his full fury upon her.
But the fact that he survived shows that, yes, he is very strong, and he was able to push her away.
That's right.
Stephen Perry, would it be possible for a craft world to unite and conquer Kamara? Have we answered this?
No, I don't think so.
So would it be possible for our craft worlds to unite and conquer Kamara for their own purpose or their own use? I believe that it would be pointless for them to do that. It would just be like war amongst themselves when what they should be doing is like...
Trying to stay alive.
Yeah, trying to stay alive, because they are a dying race.
Because Eldar or Dark Eldar, they're all one and the same. There's no point in fighting against one another, especially now where you're so close to being consumed by Slaanesh. Mm-hmm. It's like, if anything, they need to rally together and go against their similar enemy.
Yep. And those were the questions for this week. Thank you guys so much for sending those questions our way. Jump on over to Patreon. You can get an exclusive Patreon Greater Wall episode. And thank you for being subscribers. Thank you for liking, sharing with your friends, and thank you for consistently going onto our channel and liking and commenting on all our videos.
That's right. That's all we got for you guys today. Keep subscribed, keep posted. If anything, we are here for you. As always, I'm the Sound Alchemist,
Gershwan,
the Epic Window, and we are out of here.